Ask any paint professional the secret to a successful exterior paint job, and the answer will be preparation. Your home's exterior is exposed to the elements 24 hours a day. Spending some extra time at the start of your painting project is key to a long-lasting finish. BEHR offers 2 premium lines to achieve a fantastic exterior paint finish, depending upon your needs. BEHR Premium Plus Ultra Exterior Paint and Primer in One is a high-performance paint and primer all in one can. It's a low VOC paint that provides excellent hide in fewer coats. BEHR's NanoGuard technology means tightly packed particles create a more durable paint film. The BEHR paint film stays looking new longer and is stain, dirt, and mildew resistant. Premium Plus Ultra also provides the benefits of a primer, providing excellent adhesion to multiple substrates, and it blocks tan and wood stains. Another fantastic option for your exterior project is choosing one of our Premium Plus exterior primers and top coating with Premium Plus exterior paint. BEHR Premium Plus exterior paint provides exceptional durability and hide and a mildew-resistant finish. For years, it has been trusted by homeowners who appreciate a premium quality paint at a great value. Premium Plus exterior paint and Premium Plus exterior primers are formulated to work together as a system to protect the exterior of your home. You may be wondering why primer is needed on an exterior project. Primers are formulated to provide optimum adhesion to a surface, especially hard-to-paint surfaces, such as metals, alkyd, or oil-based paints or glossy substrates. If you need to determine if an existing paint coating is oil-based, apply rubbing alcohol to a clean white cloth and rub the cloth on the surface in a circular motion. If alcohol cleans the surface without softening the existing coating, the paint is oil-based. If the paint softens and the color transfers onto the cloth, it's water-based. BEHR's exterior primers block stains such as tannins that can bleed through the top coat. They also create a smoother, more even finish by sealing porous surfaces. You can tint BEHR exterior primers to help reduce the number of top coats when making a dramatic color change, and to reduce the visibility of patched areas by providing a uniform surface to top coat. Whether you choose to save time with Premium Plus Ultra paint and primer in one, or paint with our trusted Premium Plus paint together with a primer, BEHR is your best choice for your painting project. BEHR technology can help you visualize your color before you paint. Download our Color Smart app for your smartphone or check out Color Smart by BEHR online at BEHR.com for instant color gratification. The best way to determine whether a color is right for your home is to paint a small swatch on the wall so you can view the color in the exact space and lighting conditions. BEHR's 8-ounce color samples are a great way to try several different colors on your home before making a choice. No matter how you find your color, we invite you to join the BEHR color conversation online through Facebook, Twitter, or our color blog, colorfullybehr.com. After you've selected a color, you've got to figure out how much paint to buy. It's important to purchase enough paint to complete your project, but without a large amount of leftover product. To estimate the amount of paint needed for your project, follow the steps in this section or visit BEHR.com to use the handy paint calculator. 1 gallon of exterior BEHR Premium Plus Ultra Paint and Primer in One, or BEHR Premium Plus Paint, is enough to cover 250 to 400 square feet of surface area with one coat. Quarts are available if a smaller amount of product is needed, and 5-gallon pails are available if you are painting a very large area. Many factors determine the number of coats it will take to cover your existing surface. You may require more paint if you're painting a porous surface, a rough or textured surface, a previously unpainted surface, or if you're making a dramatic color change. Choosing a deep or intense color may require multiple coats or the use of a tinted primer. BEHR colors that require a tinted primer or multiple coats are marked with a symbol on the color chip. You may require less paint if you are painting a smooth surface, a primed or sealed surface, if you are not making a dramatic color change, or have a house with many unpaintable features such as window panes or decorative stone. Your application method will also affect the amount of paint needed. To estimate the size of the house body, first measure the perimeter of the house. The perimeter of this house is 128 feet. Next, measure the height of the house from the foundation to the roof line, excluding gables. The height of this house is 18 feet. Now, multiply the perimeter of the home by the height. An average window is 15 square feet, and an average door is 20 square feet. You can subtract doors and windows from your wall area calculation for a more accurate estimate. If you have gables, multiply the width of the gable by its height and divide by 2. Do this for each gable. Add this to the body measurement. Remember, each gallon of paint will cover roughly 250 to 400 square feet. To put 2 coats of paint on this smooth siding, we'll need 12 gallons of body color. As a rule of thumb, you'll need 1 gallon of paint for trim and gutters per 8 gallons of body paint. If you'd like to be more precise, measure the linear feet of gutter on your project. Each linear foot of gutter is approximately 1 square foot. In this example, there are 200 feet of gutter. If you are painting the trim the same color, add or estimate all the length of trim for your entire house for a total length. For example, you might have 450 feet of trim of various types. One estimate of trim width is 6 inches wide or half a foot. Your trim may be wider or narrower, but this will provide an estimate. Multiply your total trim length by 0.5 feet. This house has approximately 225 square feet of trim. Add the trim and the gutter calculations together. This house has a total of 425 square feet. So we'll need 2.5 gallons of paint to put 2 coats on the gutters and trim. Doors are easy to estimate. Multiply the width by the height for the number of square feet. This door is 7 feet by 3 feet, or 21 square feet. So 1 quart is enough paint to apply 2 coats to both sides of the door. This is the basic information you'll need for determining how much paint to buy. Remember, as a shortcut, you can also use the handy online paint calculator on BEHR.com. When choosing a paint sheen, think about the exterior surface you're painting. In general, lower sheen paints are often chosen for the body of the house, while higher sheen paints are often used for trim, doors, and accents. Flat is a low sheen paint with a non-reflective matte appearance that's ideal for large areas. It's a good main body paint and is best for concealing surface imperfections. Satin enamel paint has a pearl-like appearance. Its versatile sheen makes it a great choice for the main body or trim. Semi-gloss is a higher sheen paint with a radiant, sleek appearance that is attractive on trim, doors, and accent areas. Its reflective sheen highlights exterior details and is easy to clean. High gloss paint has a shiny, glass-like appearance that also looks great on trim and accent areas. Because it creates a tough, hard finish, high gloss is a durable choice for movable features of your home's exterior, such as doors and working shutters. If you're using semi-gloss or high gloss paint, apply multiple thin coats rather than one thick coat to achieve the smoothest finish. These recommendations are for surfaces other than floors. Floors need paint that is specially formulated, so if you're painting a floor, check out BEHR's Porch, Patio, and Floor Paint. A handy sheen guide is available on the BEHR color display in the Home Depot, so you can see an example before you choose. Having the right supplies at the start of a painting project saves a lot of time. Brushes should be high-quality nylon and polyester for latex finishes. Choose 3/8 to 1/2 inch roller covers for smooth or semi-smooth surfaces, and 1/2 inch or higher for medium to rough surfaces. Use only high-quality lint-free roller covers to avoid shedding loose fibers that could embed in your paint finish. In general, smaller nap rollers leave a smoother finish and a thinner film, which is preferred for higher sheens. You will also need a roller frame, bucket and bucket grid, caulk and a caulking gun for filling gaps, seams, and tiny holes, especially around doors and windows, cleaning rags, drop cloths, a ladder, masking paper, approximately 1 roll of painter's tape for every 2 gallons of paint, a paint tray and liners, an extension pole, patching material to fill small holes and cracks, a putty knife, stir sticks, a paint can opener, sandpaper for sanding shiny areas or smoothing rough spots, a scraper for removing loose or peeling paint, a screwdriver, and sponges. You'll find a checklist of items in the BEHR How-To Exterior Quick Start Guide. After bringing paint home, protect it from extreme temperatures. Don't leave it in your vehicle or outside for an extended period of time, especially in very cold weather. It's best not to paint immediately after rain, if rain is in the forecast, or when temperatures drop below the temperature minimum on the label. Check your paint label to make sure you are painting in ideal temperatures to get the best results. Create a workspace by removing items such as hoses, patio furniture, cars, and freestanding planters from around the project area. Make a central staging area for tools and supplies by spreading a drop cloth in the area near the project. Next, remove what you can, such as light fixtures, home address numbers, and nails. When removing items that have screws, tape the screws to the back of the object to avoid losing these small parts during the project. If possible, remove your shutters and screens rather than paint around them. Removing a door from its hinges will make painting and drying a much easier experience. Next, protect what you can't remove with coverings, such as plastic sheeting and masking paper. Always protect plants with cloth, not plastic covers, and don't leave the covers on for too long or they may damage your plants. Now, it's time to make repairs and clean. If you have cracks and small holes, first, remove any dust or debris from the area. Then fill the voids with a flexible patching material and allow the patching material to dry completely. Sand the finished area, blending evenly with the surface, and remove any dust with a damp rag. For peeling paint, scrape the area with a wire brush or scraper to remove all the loose paint. Then, sand the finished area, blending evenly with the surface. And remove any dust with a damp rag. If you need to repair gaps and seams, remove any dust and debris, apply caulking to the area, and allow to dry completely before painting. On glossy surfaces such as gloss paint and metals, scuff sand or etch the area to provide proper product adhesion. A properly scuff sanded surface is no longer shiny. Then wipe clean with a damp rag. Especially on an exterior project, it's very important to clean the project surface to eliminate dirt, chalk, particulates, or grime that will interfere with adhesion before applying any paint. Start from the top with the gutters and downspouts and work your way down. Using a hose or power washer, rinse the area beneath the roof eaves. Remove dirt, chalk, pollen, and grime from other areas with soapy warm water and a sponge or soft cloth. Then rinse the project area, working from the top down in a side-to-side motion, and allow to dry. If you see mildew on any surface, use a mildew removing product as recommended. Rinse thoroughly and allow to dry completely. When you're through, you should be able to run your hand over the surface without picking up any chalk or particulate. After you've finished preparing the surface, you're ready to protect with painter's tape. Painter's tape is great for protecting areas such as trim and transition edges. When taping, select a painter's tape specifically designed for your surface type. Check for specific use instructions and tips on the tape manufacturer's website because using the wrong tape may damage your paint surface. Make certain the surface you are taping is properly prepared, clean, and dry. Tear off sections of the tape that are no longer than the length of your arm. Make sure the tape is straight, then lay the tape on the surface and press firmly into the surface's nooks and crannies as you go. Avoid stretching the tape. Use a putty knife, mini scraper, or your fingernail to remove any air bubbles and seal the tape edge. Textured surfaces may require extra time to seal. There's a technique for removing painter's tape that we'll cover later when we discuss cleaning up after your project. If you're using a separate primer, you can apply it now. When everything's clean, protected, and if necessary primed, you're ready to paint. Start with a dry surface. Wait until dew has dried if starting in the morning. Begin with the side of the house that is not in direct sunlight. Continue to paint other sides, following the direction of the sun so you're always on the shady side. Paint your home's exterior in this order. First eaves and fascia, then body, trim, and doors, including the garage. Start with bare paint that has been stirred so any color that may have settled is completely incorporated. When painting with a brush, it's all in the technique. Begin by using a brush that has water-dampened bristles. Dip the brush into the paint to about 1/3 of the total length of the bristles. Remove the brush and dab it on the tray or in the inside of the can a few times to remove the excess paint. Don't wipe the brush against the rim of the can. It will fill with paint and make opening and closing the lid messy and difficult. Repeat this at least twice to make certain the bristles have taken up the proper amount of paint. If the brush is properly loaded, you should be able to move the brush without too many drips. To apply the paint, position the brush to the painted surface vertically, using the narrow edge of the brush as a guide. Ideally, you want to use the narrow edge as you would a pencil. A brush with an angled sash works best for cut-ins. Apply paint in a straight line and move at a pace that would prevent the paint from dripping below the brush. Use enough pressure on the surface to ensure control of your painted line, but don't press hard. The bristles should flex slightly as you paint. Work in strokes 12 inches or longer. Avoid stopping and starting in the middle of stroke lengths. When painting vertical trim or siding, work from top to bottom. Once the brush starts to stick or skip, which is called chatter, stop and reload your brush. After applying your straight line, turn the brush 90 degrees to gently smooth out your paint line with the wide edge of the brush. To avoid hard edges from paint lines, gently smooth out or feather edges with the brush. Do not brush back into any painted surface more than a couple of minutes after applying it. Maintain a wet edge when painting a surface. Make certain the outside edge of the paint job does not dry so it can be joined to the next painted area. Use this technique to avoid lines resulting from a hard stop in the coating. When painting with a roller, first remove any lint by lightly pressing painter's tape on the roller cover. Next, roll the roller cover into the deep end of the paint tray. Do this several times to cover the entire surface of the roller cover with paint. Roll off excess paint onto the shallow end of the paint tray. Perform this procedure several times to ensure the roller cover is entirely saturated with paint. A properly loaded roller should not drip when moved and does not require you to apply force against the surface when painting. The technique for painting the body of the house depends upon the surface. If you're applying paint onto masonry or stucco, the technique is the same as an interior wall. Start at the top corner of the project area and cut in a 3 to 4 inch wide area around the perimeter with a brush. Smooth out the cut-in area by lightly brushing the tip of the bristles over the newly painted area to create a feathered edge. Place a loaded roller in the corner of your surface, approximately 3 to 4 inches away from the area you just cut in. Working in a 3x3 area, apply a W-shaped pattern towards the top of your wall or the section to be painted. The W should not be any wider than 1 arm length, which is typically 24 to 32 inches. Start filling in the width of the W pattern from the top to the bottom and continue until the area is completely covered. To paint siding, start in the top corner of the project. Cut in a 3 to 4 inch wide area around the perimeter with a brush, including any grooved or lapped areas. Smooth out the cut-in area by lightly brushing the tip of the bristles over the newly painted area to create a feathered edge. Then, place a loaded roller near one corner of your project, approximately 3 to 4 inches from where you cut in. Roll side to side or top to bottom, following the direction of the siding until complete. If you need to stop or break during your paint job, stop at a natural break in the siding, such as a corner or where the siding meets the window frame. Do not apply excessive pressure to a surface to try and squeeze more paint out. This can result in hard roller lines, drips, or sags. Instead, reload the roller as previously described. Let the tools do the work. Apply only enough pressure on the surface as necessary to deliver paint. As your project progresses, boxing or mixing your paint avoids slight color differences from can to can. When you're nearing the end of one container of paint, find a natural break in your project, such as a corner or the end of a section of trim. Open a second container and mix it into the paint from the first container. Stir well. This will ensure that minute color differences due to tinting will not be detectable in your finished project. Accidents sometimes happen. Clean spills and drips using a damp cloth and a little soap while the paint is still wet. If you have a drip on your painted surface that's still wet, you can feather it out using your brush or gently roll over the drip with your roller. If drips are dry, you may have to scrape the drip off and touch up the spot with fresh paint. Don't pull the drip. Instead, scrape and sand the area. Avoid leaving hard lines for touch-ups by feathering out the edges with a brush. Fascia, trim, and doors are most often painted with higher sheens because glossier paints are the most durable and sheen highlights architectural features. To paint fascia, trim, and doors, start at the corner and use a smooth motion to brush or roll the project area. Reload the brush or roller as necessary when it starts to chatter, and repeat these steps until the project area is complete. Use a brush for painting in small panels. You can use a brush over the entire surface to avoid the appearance of roller stipple. For panel doors and frames, use panel bordering as natural breakpoints, cutting around edges and filling in the middle. As with the house body, work from the top to the bottom. Allow enough time for the paint to dry fully before putting doors and windows back into use. Otherwise, they'll stick together. When you're finished painting the surface, you can carefully pull off the painter's tape before the paint has dried completely if you're using water-based paint. Remove tape using moderate speed and pull the tape back over itself. Re-grasp the tape so you're not more than 12 inches away from the pull. If your paint is completely dried and the tape begins to lift the paint, gently score the tape top edge with a utility knife to release the film before pulling further. Let your project dry completely before reassembling the items like house numbers and light fixtures that you removed in the preparation step. When you're finished painting, proper cleaning and storage will extend the life of your tools. For latex or water-based paints, clean with soap and lots of warm water. For oil-based products, clean with mineral spirits. Use a paint comb to clean the bristles of your brush. After cleaning, always shake out excess water from your brushes and squeeze and shake your roller dry. Hang the brush by the handle to allow water to drain down and out of the metal portion. Once the paint is fully dry, carefully remove all protective coverings from the project area. Reattach items such as address numbers and light fixtures. Before storing leftover paint, clean the outside edge and interior rim of the paint can. Don't let your paint freeze. Store leftover products in a dry location, avoiding extreme temperatures. Contact your household refuse collection service to dispose of empty containers and unused product and soiled rags. To maintain your beautiful exterior, keep in mind that some detergents, especially detergents with abrasives, may damage the paint finish. A mild, non-abrasive soap and water solution, rinsed with clean water, is recommended for cleaning your finish. When cleaning, use light pressure to avoid creating shiny spots called burnishing. Loose dirt can be removed by rinsing the surface with a garden hose. Now, step back and enjoy your new exterior. The best results come from the highest quality products. Good, better, BEHR.